Hi, and welcome to Live United. My name is Roxanne Wells, and I'm the Director of Communications and Workplace Giving for United Way St. Lucie County. The mission of United Way is to improve lives by mobilizing the caring power of our community, and we do that by funding programs and organizations that improve lives in the area of education, income, and health. And today we have with us guests from our Hands Clinic in St. Lucie County. Welcome. We have Patty Gatu and Sandy Allen joining us today. Thank you, ladies, for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
And Patty, would you like to tell us what HANDS is?
Well, HANDS is a nonprofit healthcare organization that is for St. Lucie County residents who have low income or no income and do not have health insurance. Here in St. Lucie, there are over 65,000 people who do not have health insurance, so we're here for them. And we have primary health care and adult dental. We also provide pediatric dental for children inside the schools. There's over 10,000 that we provide that to. We provide mental health and prescription assistance, and also we have a monthly OBGYN, and we're always, trying to help in any other ways we can.
And how is the HANDS Clinic funded?
Oh, we have generous donations. It's very amazing that, and we're very thankful for those things.
And I know that you don't get any type of federal funding, do you?
No, we don't. No.
So just primarily dependent on places like United Way,
Yes, thank
Children's
you.
Services Council for your pediatric dental program, individual donors, as well as grants.
Yes, that's how we're getting funded at this time.
That's wonderful, and we see the HANDS Clinic in the pages of Luminaries often, and we have with us Sandy Allen. She's a Lady of Julia in a gym. Do you want to tell us a little bit about the Julia Project?
The Julia Project was created for the Hands Clinic. G. Allen Fine Jewelry and Coin created the necklace, Julia.
Beautiful.
This was for the first year. We were the Ladies of Julia. We were ambassadors for the Hands Clinic, which there's 13 of us. 12 women wore the necklace each month, one per month, and we just raised awareness and raised funds for HANDS.
And I see each of the ladies kind of do their own fundraiser each month to contribute, and you do actually have a fundraiser coming up, yes?
Yes, we do. We have Julia and the Little Black Dress party coming up on September 17th. Everyone's invited. Please contact us for tickets. It's a cocktail party from 6 to 9 p.m. And we have lots of surprises, lots of fun, heavy hors d'oeuvres, cash bar, and we just have a lot of fun in store for everyone that evening.
And it's going to be held at the Pelican Yacht Club in Fort Pierce?
It's held at the Pelican Yacht Club, yes.
Very good. And can we just kind of go back and talk a little bit? One of my favorite programs from the HANDS Clinic is the pediatric dental. I know we have Irvin. He does so much. He's the miracle worker man, and he is in the schools able to screen all the children. Can you just elaborate a little bit on that?
Yes, he goes out to the schools, and they go through, and they start with even the kindergarten, and it's K through 6, and they review and go through with the children and see what's the dental issues that are going on, and they check the children and help them to make sure that everything is going on okay. And if it's not, then they help treat them and help find dentists in the area that will treat those problems with those children.
And something that you do is you're a patient navigator, so perhaps they do have insurance but are not able to get direction in which way they go. You help them navigate through their insurance, correct?
For the adults, we only do the adults at the clinic, and
Okay.
what we do is we make sure that we can help those adults get the health care they need. So what we will do is make sure they have their paperwork And also, we don't only help them with their health care. If they need something else, maybe they need food stamps, we'll make sure that they get to the right place. Maybe they're needing other things. We help them find those right organizations for what else is going on with their life. We don't believe that it's just the health care, because we become their health care home, and we want to make sure that it's holistic for that piece. We also have a nutritionist on site, and also we have a diabetes program, and we have other classes that are held there on the property so that they're not going all over the place. So we try to keep as much there. We are a volunteers in medicine clinic. You may have heard of that.
Yes.
And although that we're called HANDS, that is the Volunteers in Medicine Clinic. So, we started in 2010. Excuse me. We are at the old Sam's Club.
Yes.
Which a lot of people may be familiar with, because that's on US 1, 3885 South US 1. And anybody that needing that help can, call us to make an appointment and come see us.
So what is the process for an individual who may be in need of services?
That's a great question. If someone needs services, they give us a call, and they need to be a St. Lucie County resident, and they would have their ID that shows that, and Social Security card. If they're not working, they bring in their, usually someone can be working, and that's, a lot of people think that they cannot be working. They can make up to, for a single person, $1,980 a month of gross income. And they bring in proof of their income, and last year's taxes, if they did taxes, or proof that they didn't do taxes, and they can get that through the IRS. But we help them get that information. Proof that they are not on any insurance like Medicaid, and we help them with that. And then they provide us with proof of their address, like their FP&L bill or their light bill. And then they get all that information, and as a navigator, I help look at that information and see if everything's all together, and then we set them with an appointment to see the doctor. Their first appointment with the doctor is an hour long, because it's making sure that we help them with everything, see what's going on with them, see what their needs are, so that we don't, so we make sure that they're telling us everything to make sure we give them that health care home that they need.
Right. And y'all have formed some great partnerships, mainly with the Moffitt Center. So we have so many individuals in our community who may have cancer and are able to afford the expensive treatments.
Right.
And your new, one of your new, I wouldn't say new, it's probably been going on a few years now, is the Moffitt Center. Can you tell
Yes.
us a little bit about that?
Yeah, the Moffitt Center is in, in Tampa, and that's where we can refer them there at times and it's no cost to them.
Wow.
They just need to,
And are you able to help with transportation?
right now, usually it's a friend or a family member that will get them taken there, but we try everything we can to help them get there. Sometimes we've had a case where there were assistance with gasoline and things like that, and we work with other agencies around the area and the county.
That's great. Approximately how many volunteer doctors and dentists do you have?
I would not be able to tell you that at this time. I'd say it's
Quite a few.
changes
now.
all the time, because just this past week we did have another dentist that was committing himself to come on
wonderful.
board, and right now we have changes coming for our doctors as well. So
Wonderful. And I know 5-6 years ago, when the concept of HAMS was being formulated, that United Way was able to grant some seed money
we
towards
really
the clinic, and we are invested in the HANS clinic and the health of our community. Anything else about the Julia project? How did it get started? Where did the concept come from?
Actually, there is a book called The Necklace, and it is about 13 women that bought an expensive diamond necklace together, that shared the necklace. So it was, an experiment that these women could share this necklace. Wendy Dwyer, well known in our area,
Yes.
she read the book and was so taken by it that she spoke with Sydney, and they decided to make a project out of it for the charity, for us to become ambassadors and raise funds and awareness for the Hands Clinic. This year, the girls, we have changed our name from the Ladies of Julia to the Gems of Julia, because there are 19 of us now
Oh,
instead
wow.
of the original 12. So we are all out there every day, giving information out, speaking about hands, and people actually recognize the necklace on the street now, so people are becoming more aware of what the Hands Clinic does.
And what a generous contribution by G. Allen. He's been kind of the backer of the project.
Yes.
And able
This
to,
year, for the gems, he has created, we call them the twins. He created earrings that went with the necklace. So we're just out there trying to get the information out about the Hands Clinic.
And not only for contributions, but also to inform the public that this organization, this clinic, is here for them to be their healthcare home.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's awareness is just as much, at stake here as raising the funds. They absolutely need the funds to keep their doors open to serve. I think there's 65,000 people in our county that could possibly be,
And these are not people who have Medicaid or Medicare. These
Correct.
are folks who are underinsured. Perhaps they have a job where they don't qualify for benefits, or
Exactly.
or unemployed and still not able to qualify for any type of other assistance. So
Right.
the need is really great, and we have a large population in our community that are employed but are still struggling to make ends meet. And we kindly call that ALICE, Asset Limited Income Constrained Employed.
Right.
And we know that so many of our St. Lucie County residents and our brothers and sisters and neighbors are struggling. And so we have organizations like this to lend a hand in certain areas, not a handout, but a hand up.
Right.
And if we aren't healthy, then we can't lead productive lives. And we know how important it is to all of us to be healthy and our children be healthy. And actually, dental disease, oral health disease, is the number one disease for children. It's the number one childhood disease. So we know that our dental program in the schools, the elementary schools, are so vital, making sure our kids are in school every day. When they're out with things like tooth pain, then they're falling behind, and sometimes it's very hard for them to catch up. I give presentations a lot throughout the community, and I say, have you ever had a toothache? A lot of times those issues are luxury items
Right.
that we're not, some of us aren't privy to that, but oral health and dental care can be a luxury item.
We're also available to go to employers or other places and help others understand what we are at the Hands Clinic, and provide them information so that they can provide that information to their employees. So, we do that too.
Exactly. Well, ladies, this has been very informative. If anybody is interested in attending the upcoming fundraiser, Julia, I'm sure it's something that you won't want to miss. Lots of surprises in store. And we do
They're
appreciate
always exciting.
And we do appreciate you coming on and sharing the good news about the Hands Clinic
Thank
and
you
what
so
you are
much.
doing for our community. United Way is honored to be a part of the Hands Clinic. Just thank you for coming today. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm lucky. Let me help you with that. I get to do something I love. It has nothing to do with touchdowns or titles.
Everybody bring it in.
I get to play a part in the life of someone just starting out.
How many of you think homework is just as important as teamwork?
I help keep kids in school,
Good.
and that's the name of the game.
My name is LaDainian Thomason. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer. Live United.
Hi, and welcome back. And for this segment, we have a great organization, Safe Space, and with us, the CEO, Jill Borowitz. and also Mitch Chlorfane, a board member.
Oh, you said it right. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Jill, tell us a little bit about domestic violence. What is it?
Well, domestic violence occurs in an intimate relationship where one partner is exerting power and control over the other. And the exertion of that power and control can happen in a number of different ways. A lot of people think of it as just physical, but it's not just physical. It can be emotional abuse, it can be financial, it can be isolation, it can be a number of different things. Physical is certainly the most common.
Yes.
So,
And how can a person who's experiencing abuse find services?
well, they can call our hotline. We have hotlines in all 3 counties of the Treasure Coast because we serve
Yes.
Martin, St. Lucie, and Indian River. I'll just give you one number. It's 772-288-7023. That is our most common hotline number that people call. And that's the point of entry, really. And if someone is a victim of domestic violence in any way, shape, or form, we have advocates that man our hotlines. There's always someone who answers our phone. It's a person, not a recording. You're
Right.
never put on hold. And an advocate will help that person from that point in time to escape safely, whether it be to our shelter or a family member or a friend, whatever it is they want to do, we will assist them
And
with
can
that
residents
process.
also get through to you through our 211?
Yes, of course. Yes, anybody who calls 211 will be directed to our hotline numbers, yes.
That's great. And what
Most
is the
definitely.
mission of Safe Space?
Our mission, really, our primary purpose is safety, because first and foremost, victims and children, their children have to be safe before we can begin to do anything else. So it's safety, we provide safety, education, support, and any of the necessary services so that a victim can move on into a safe, independent life free of violence.
And I was just recently there at your shelter
Yes.
in Martin County for a tour. It's eye-opening, and so many families are intermingled and mixed together, just trying to get their feet under them
Yes.
and get out of bad situations. So many of them with young babies and young children. And I understand that 1 in 3 persons are affected by domestic violence. Is that
Yes, in the United
Correct.
States, 1 out of every 3 women have been or are victims of domestic violence at some point in their lives. Another startling statistic is that 4 women are murdered every day in America at the hands of someone they love. And you may recall in the summer this year, we had a pretty traumatic and very, very serious domestic violence homicide in Martin County occur. So it happens everywhere, not just out there in America, but here in our backyard as well, unfortunately. In the 2015, there were almost 3,000 law enforcement offenses, domestic violence related offenses. Domestic violence makes up about 18% of all crime on the Treasure Coast, and I think a lot of people aren't aware of that. So it's a very serious issue, and when you consider the fact that only 50% of all victims even report to law enforcement,
Right.
that number could be significantly higher on the Treasure Coast, and that's what Safe Space is here for, and that's why we're fortunate to be able to do TV shows, radio shows, get in the newspaper, talk about our organization, what we do, because again, we can't keep these statistics and people from being hurt if people don't know that we're here.
Yes, and unfortunately, you're only in the news for what you do if there is a situation like
Yes.
a murder
Yes.
that happens, but you operate in the shadows where
Yeah.
these ladies and sometimes men go to get reprieve from
Absolutely.
an abuser.
Yeah, it's happens, men, women, same-sex couples, you name it. I mean, domestic violence is out there.
About how many people on the Treasure Coast do you serve every year?
Last year, we served almost 2,700 victims and their children.
And it was very interesting. You used to have 2 shelters, one in Indian River and one in Martin County.
We did.
But now you just have the shelter in Martin County, and then you have the transitional living.
Yes.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. We made a decision a couple of years ago to change our model of operations and combine and collapse all of our emergency services under one roof. We expanded our facility. We can now house up to about 60 victims under one roof in our emergency shelter. It's in a confidential location. And our other facility, our other shelter, we turned into a transitional living program. And we turned that into a program for women who do not have children, because there already exist transitional programs for women with children on the Treasure Coast. Women who were coming to us without children had nowhere to go beyond our shelter. And our shelter is an acute crisis kind of facility. So it's 6 to 8 weeks. And it's very difficult for women who've been out of the workforce, don't have transportation, to obtain a job, let alone housing. So we designed this program to meet that gap for that population of women, because we found that they were returning to their batterers more frequently than other women who are coming into our facility.
And the ladies at the shelter were sharing with me that it's even sometimes they leave without their identification
Absolutely.
and Social Security. How do you apply for a job if you don't have your basic
Yeah,
paperwork?
it takes time. It takes time to get all of those things done. And 6 to 8 weeks is not a lot of time. So again, some of these women can move on if they have children into the MISS program, the Hope Family Center in Indian River County, Samaritan Center. There are programs for women with children. Not many, but there are some out there. Nothing for women who don't have kids. And they're also not eligible for any of the resources that women with children are
Right.
eligible for, such as food stamps or TANF, which is actually welfare or assistance. So they're really left high and dry with nothing.
Right. And October means a lot to your
Oh, it
organization.
does. Yes, which is again why we're doing all of this, because October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I don't want anybody on the Treasure Coast not to know who Safe Space is and what we do. There is absolutely no reason why someone who might be experiencing some semblance of violence in a relationship should go through it alone. We're here to help. We never ever tell anybody what to do.
Right.
Calling us doesn't necessarily mean you're going to go in our shelter. We have a lot of programs that don't involve shelter stays at all. In fact, we work with probably 2/3 of the population we work with never come into our shelter. So it's not a requirement that you come into our shelter, and I think that's important for people to know. It is important, however, that they call, that they seek assistance. Our advocates are trained specialists in dealing with domestic violence, in dealing with how to safely escape, how to stay safe once you get out of the home and out of the relationship, because what we know about domestic violence is that 75% of all domestic violence homicides occur after a woman leaves the relationship. So we want to make sure she's doing that safely, which is again why we really strongly suggest you call. It's an anonymous call. You don't have to share anything you don't want to. If it's just to get information, give us a call.
Right. And what do you have coming up in October?
Well, we have this fun event that we do. It's called Walk a Mile in Her Shoes. And it's actually an international event that we sign up to participate in every year. And it is an event where men come together on behalf of our cause, domestic violence, and they wear 4-inch high red stiletto high heels, and they actually walk a mile. And we do, we've changed up a little bit over the years. We do one walk now, and it's at the downtown marina in Fort Pierce by the Farmers Market. It will be Saturday, October 8th at 9 o'clock. Last year, we had over 600 people out there. It was amazing. Wow. It really was, to see all these men that are coming out and women coming out to support our cause and our effort, and just to bring awareness to the community about this cause. It's really fun. It's a fun way to get out a really serious message.
And Mitch, you'll be wearing red stilettos?
I'm not going to just be wearing them. I have them on right now. So
That's
wait,
great.
let's see if I can. Here we go. So we're all hooked up. So these are what are called sitting shoes right now. So I don't have to get up and walk in your studio.
Exactly.
But I will be walking my mile coming up in October.
And you serve on the board for Safe Space.
I do, yes. I've been with the board now for a little over a year, so I'm into my sophomore term
Very
now.
good. And how did you come to join up with Safe Space?
I had volunteered with Safe Space and did some photography with them through some of their events over time, but it was always close to my heart because I had a daughter who was a resident at the facility for a while. So I got to know from the inside really what was going on and what they did before turning her out to be on a good path.
Wow.
So it's been a good path ever since her stay there.
It is true, though. 1 in 3 people, it could be someone you know, even
And you
even
know,
your daughter.
you'd be amazed at how many people it is that you don't know, that you see every day, that you just might not know their backstory. Because I found out, being with Safe Space, other people's backstories, and it's hard.
Right. I mean, and these are not just people from low socioeconomic backgrounds. These are professionals and
Absolutely not.
people we deal with every day.
Yep, we get people from all walks of life, all educational levels, everything you can imagine.
Now, if someone wants to, do you have teams available, or how does the walk
Oh,
work?
yeah,
What
you-
is the
So
goal?
glad you asked. Well, first, actually, as a preview for the walk, so if you want to come out and meet the people and try on some shoes, this Saturday, the 10th, at Tailgaters in Port St. Lucie, we are doing a karaoke benefit where he is nice enough to donate 25% of the proceeds back for whatever anybody has for dinner to the cause. But you also, after you sing your song, you get to walk around the room and encourage people to make contributions, and we look for the person with the highest contribution. I was paid last year to not sing, so I didn't win, but I had a good take just to keep my mouth shut.
Now, if you are a gentleman that would like to participate, do you have to bring your own red shoes, or?
Nope. You can go online and register at www.safespacefl.org/events. You can call our office number, which I believe you're showing on the show today. Or you can come out there that morning. We can't guarantee there'll be shoes. We only have a certain number of shoes. So the only way to be sure that you're going to get shoes is to register either online or be calling our office and registering with a credit card.
Oh,
So.
but if they have their own red stilettos
Yeah,
and they just
feel
happen
free.
to have them, let them, bring
We
their
have a
own.
lot of guys that come out with their own shoes, so
That's
it's
neat.
totally.
Can we out one of them? Chris Sadovsky has
Yes.
his own
Love
red
that.
shoes.
Yes.
So he will bring his own reds. He doesn't dig into our till.
And
That's
he's
good.
been
Yeah.
a longtime supporter of
He
your walk
has
and your
been.
organization.
He and Joe Smith,
Yes.
Yeah.
Clark Smith.
And
I don't know if
But
Joe
and
has his own.
no, Joe doesn't have his own. Although he probably will after he sees this. But the shoes are actually male-size shoes.
Yes.
So and they're in all sizes. I've had men say, "Oh, you can't probably have my size," and
That's what
they're
I
size
said.
15.
That's it.
Okay, and we do have size 15 shoes, red
Wow.
heels.
Yeah, so
yes.
bring your football player friends and your basketball player friends. We will size them.
And we do give awards at the walk. We give an award to the team that raises the most money, the individual that raises the most money, and the individual or team that shows the highest amount of spirit during the walk.
Oh, neat.
So we do have some fun awards. It's a great event. Like I said, it's just a really fun way to get a difficult message out to people. So.
Now, just from my visit just recently at the shelter, you have a lot of needs other than just monetary, though donations are always needed and
Yes.
accepted, but you are always accepting a lot of items.
Yes. Linens are something that we go through quite a bit, bedding, towels, that kind of thing. The women a lot of times are in need of small denomination gift cards for gas, so they get to and from the places they have to go to for employment, for, like you said, Social Security card, those kind of things.
Yes.
Food items, non-perishable food items, diapers, toiletries. Yeah, those are things that we go through a lot of. Paper products,
And
as
you
you
have
can imagine.
quite a few businesses across the Treasure Coast that do help.
We do.
And
We're
those-
really blessed. I have to say, I think the Treasure Coast is a very rich community in terms of the generosity,
Yes.
and not just towards Safe Space. I think we're very fortunate in the level of support that we have, but all the nonprofits out there really are very well supported.
And we're so happy to support you, and we appreciate you
Yeah.
being on our show today and sharing so much information. We look forward to your event and seeing you walk a mile in those red shoes.
I want to see you walk a mile, or bring
okay.
people to walk a mile.
I have a pair of red stilettos.
We
waiting
have
at
a lot
home.
of women sign up. Actually, they sign up, they pay, and they come out and they walk too. And
That's great.
if you don't have to wear the red heels, we just want to say that. We do have red booty covers that are
fun.
like the surgical covers, and they're red. So if you can't wear the heels, it's okay. We just want everybody to come out and support us and support the cause and show that how important it is to the community that we keep these people safe.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having
and
us.
This is Live United. Thank you.